what are some of the key differences between online and residential? And I know you guys talked about like the key differences between like life as a residential or online student, but what are the differences in regards to like the application, the competitiveness in the application? Is it easier to get in uh, for one way or the other? What's the deal there?
I'm sure Shashank can speak more to this, but I mean, obviously, you have your more blatant differences. Caroline Parker and I, we go and we live on campus for our like amount of time, and Shashank does not do that. And he's still going to be taking classes at his home school, whereas the rest of us are going to be taking all of our classes like at NCSM. Every single one of our instructors are NCSSM instructors. Yeah, and in terms of competitiveness for programs, I really think that what is most important is what you're interested in. The application is the same for both. You literally just you click the box. But you should go for what you're interested in. If you think that oh, maybe I'm like a little shy, I'm looking to break out of my shell a little bit. I think like, going to a boarding school, meeting new people from all over the state, making some really cool friends would be really good for me. I think I could grow a lot from that, academically and as a person. Then, by all means, apply to residential. We would, absolutely, we'd love anybody who comes to NCSSM. And if you think maybe, oh, I've got, some good relationships with my friends from home. I really like, the environment at my home school, but I'm still looking to be challenged a little bit more. Then, apply for the online program. And, if you're not sure what you want to do, apply to both. It's really a matter of what do you want to do? What do you think is going to help you grow the most as a person?
Right. Yeah, I completely agree with what Mo was saying, especially her reasoning for, deciding what program do you want to apply to. And yeah, I mean, obviously you have the physical differences between course load and campus, going to campus and not, like she stated. Yeah, in terms of the application, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's easier to get into one program than the other. They're both hyper competitive. And they both accept relatively, at least in the Wake County area. I'm not entirely sure about other areas in North Carolina, but in the Wake County area, they accept relatively the same number of people for both the online and residential program. Um, so in terms of like, you're not really competing for less spots based off of which program you apply to. Um, and yeah, again, in terms of rigor, I know I've like residential NCSSM, a lot of the classes are very rigorous. And again, online compares to that based off the classes that you take, obviously. But yeah, what went through my mind personally when I was applying to online over residential, I actually didn't apply to residential at all. Many people, what you guys may be deciding is to apply to both, just see what happens. Personally, I just didn't necessarily want to leave uh, my hometown yet until senior year. But that's a personal decision that everybody has to make for themselves. So really, just like Emma said, just go through. Do you like? Do you feel like you have good connections where you are? Do you want to change in the environment? Do you want to see what living on campus is like before you go to college? Um, Take all these factors into mind when you're making these decisions.
And if I can just add one more thing, I think a common misconception of the online program is that like you don't really get to connect with any other students. But obviously, if you're an online student, you have other people in your online classes that are learning with you and you're bonding with them. And this year does look different because of the pandemic. But normally in a normal year, which they might, in the next year or two, they might revert back to the online students actually get to come on campus every couple of weeks and like get to see their teachers, get to, do like an in-person lab and all that stuff. And they get to bond with other students there on campus as well. So if you're choosing online, it doesn't mean that you're not going to talk to anyone at the school. You're definitely going to connect with people and get to make more friends. So.
Right. Yeah, Parker is referencing the online weekends that have become fully online now because of COVID. But supposedly they're very fun. Obviously, I haven't experienced it yet because we can't. But yeah, that is a plus.